अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच दंडौत बंधन अनेक बार सर्व कला समर्थ डोलन ते राखो प्रभु नानक दे कर हाथ कहा बुद्ध प्रभ तुच्छ हमारी वर्ण सकै महिमा जो तिहारी हम ना सख्त कर सिफत तुम्हारी आप ले हो तुम कथा सुधारी मुख उचर शास्त्र खट पिंग गिरन चढ़ जाए आंध लखा बदरो सुन जो काल कृपा कराए आंध लखा बदरो सुन जो काल कृपा कराए वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. So with the blessings of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, we started a series of talks that goes through all of Maharaj's itihas, so that's the aim. And in honor especially of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's 350th Shaheedi Dihada taking place this year. So we're using the reference of Sri Gur Pratap Suraj Prakash Granth. And in that Granth, who the great scholar and a great poet called Mahakavi Bhai Santokh Singh Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's itihas is in the starts from the Gyarvi Ras. So I think a couple of weeks ago now you would have listened to the first 7 chapters of the Gyarvi Ras. So we're going to pick up from the 8th chapter, but before I start on the 8th chapter, I just thought I'd give a really quick summary. So we end the Dasvi Ras with Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj doing Jyoti Jyot in Delhi. And just before they do Jyoti Jyot, when they tell the Sangat that they're about to leave the Sarir, the Sangat asks, well, who's going to be the next Guru Sahib now? Who are we going to bow down to now? And Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj says, Baba Basaheb Beat Bakale. That the next Guru Sahib is going to be in Bakala Sahib. That's the name of the village that the next Guru is residing. And so the Sangat know that they need to look at Bakala Sahib, but Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj never named the next Guru. So they never said it's going to be someone called Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. So it was all a bit of a mystery. And at that point, you've got all the fake Gurus who want to become the Guru. They run to Bakala Sahib. So you have 22 fake Gurus of the Sodhi lineage from the Sodhi clan, and they run to Bakala Sahib. So for example as well, Dhir Mal, who's been after the Gurgaddi for a really long time now, he also runs from Kartarpur Sahib to Bakala Sahib. So then we follow the journey of Makhan Shah, who you would have heard last time, but essentially his ship gets stuck at shore. So he's a really, really wealthy tradesman. And what he does is he imports and exports goods across the borders, and then from that he makes a lot of profit. And he's in a lot of trouble because he's in a storm and his ship's about to sink pretty much. And he does an ardas to Maharaj and says, Maharaj, if you save me from this, I'm going to give 500 Rajatapan or 500 Mora, which are like 500 gold coins. So he makes this promise, and the ship, it makes it out, and all the people on the ship make it out alive as well. And he arrives back in his village, which is near Pakistan. And now he's got to go and fulfill this promise now that he owes 500 coins to the Gurukar. So in order to go and fulfill this, first he travels to Delhi because Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj was in Delhi. But he reaches Delhi and he's told that Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj, they've become Jyoti Jyot, they've left their Sarir, and now you need to go to Bakala Sahib. We don't know who it is, but there is someone there that's going to be the Guru, and they're in Bakala Sahib. So then Makhan Shah, he arrives at Bakala Sahib, And as you can imagine, he's probably very confused because there's 22 gurus there. And he's got to try and figure out who is the Satguru. So he forms a plan, and his plan is to give 2 gold coins at a time to each guru, and find out if they mention anything to do with 500 coins or anything to do with the ship. Because the true guru, the Antarjami Maharaj, will know. So one by one, he goes to each of the gurus. And these gurus, they've set up their divans all across Bakala Sahib. So they've all got their own divans, they've all got their own Sangat, they've all got their own Kirtaniya, they've all got their own Kathavach. The only thing that Makhan Shah is doing now is holding on to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's charan. Because he has this state, he becomes in this transient state where he loses all conscious of his body, he loses all conscious of his surroundings, and the only thing that he can see is Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. And then all he does is hold on to Maharaj's charan, because he's waited so long to have Maharaj's darshan. He's gone without food and drink, and now finally charana saparshe, that he's able to hold Guru Sahib's charan. And he thanks Maharaj for saving him. Now at this point, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj has saved Makhan Shah twice now. So the first time was on the ship. The second time is because Makhan Shah said he's not going to eat or drink until he's had Maharaj's darshan. You can only go a certain amount of time, especially without water. You can only go a certain amount of time. And you can imagine the psychological, mental effects that he had. He was beside himself. So he said, Maharaj, you saved me twice. You saved my life twice. And he carries on and he gives some examples about what it was that Maharaj saved him. So they say, it's like someone who's died and the Jamdut have come to get them. And on the way to Nark, someone's picked him up and put him in Surg. Someone's picked him up on the way to the hell and picked him up and put him into the heavens. So Jimakin Kartara Dukh Mahe Tisko Surg Dehe Jimakoe. And the other example he gives is like someone that goes foreign, like somewhere foreign. They go to Pradesh, and that person is lost and lonely and he can't afford to feed himself. And he doesn't have any clothes, he's wandering around by himself in the jungles, and then someone offers him his own home. And that is what it was like, that someone brought him into their home. And this is the same thing, that Makhan Shah has found a home in Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's charan. So he just keeps holding Maharaj's charan. And the only thing that's on Makhan Shah's mind right now is that he wants to make Maharaj Pargat now to all the Sangat, because the Sangat are just as lost as Makhan Shah, if not more. So every day they'd go and they'd matha take to each of the Bhai Guru Sahibs. So the Sangat are lost, and he thinks that I need to do Paropakar now. I need to tell the rest of the Sangat who is actually the true Guru. And he asks for Maharaj's Agya that day and he goes home. Now it's night time now. And the only thing that's on Makhan Shah's mind is, how can I do Maharaj's seva? And he goes and he finds the best tailors, all the seamstresses. He finds the most expensive cloth, so it's like raw silk, and the most expensive thread, because he wants to make a barna for Guru Sahib. So he makes a barna for Guru Sahib. He wants to buy Maharaj a dastar, and he wants to prepare a hazuriya as well for Maharaj. So all night is spent preparing all of Maharaj's bastar. So both the mol ke bastar nikase, sivan lage behar nar paase, sarba sarvari ker bitai kar poshish raja sundartai. That all night these tailors were up preparing Maharaj's bastar from the most expensive material. And also, mohar panchasa ginke leen jo gur ke hit santanakeen. He said, make sure you count 500 gold coins for me that I've promised Maharaj. So 500 gold coins that night as well were prepared. And then when there was Sava pair of the night left, so Amrit Villa, Makhan Shah wakes up and they have an ishnan, and they do nitnem. So, Ojala poshish pahari pher Japji prathama sukhmani pache. So they do Japji Sahib, Sukhmani Sahib, and Panchamrit Tyar Bahukara. So they prepare Kara Prashad, for Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. Now, as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of stuff. So you've got Bane, Maharaj's Bastar, then you've got 500 gold coins, you've got the prashads, the crates of Kara Prashad. The people around Bakala Sahib, as Makhan Shah is leaving his home, are realizing, well, he's got quite a lot of stuff with him. Who is he taking this for? And the word goes around, and the 22 fake gurus of the Sodhi lineage, they're getting excited now, because what if Makhan Shah is coming to give us some special gift? What if Makhan Shah has found out that we're the true guru instead? So those 22 gurus, they start getting ready. They're cleaning up their own diwans, making sure that everything's nice. They're putting on their best clothes, and they're getting all of their Jor Sahib done, and they're getting all their Ardasiya Sikh. So in Puratan times, the Ardasiya Sikh was called the Mevada Sikh. So they're getting all their Mevada Sikh forward, and there's gold cushions, especially Dhir Mal, because most of the Sangat believed that if there was anyone that was going to become Guru, is going to be Dhir Mal, because Dhir Mal is the son of Baba Gurditta Ji. So the grandson of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, and also the older brother of Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. So technically their brothers had the Guru Gaddi and their grandfathers had the Guru Gaddi. So he thought that he was also deserving of the Guru Gaddi. And the other thing was that he also had Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Kartarpuri Bir. So he was in possession of that. So he kind of thought that that was his kind of special thing that was going to make him the Guru. So he had the biggest divan, and they essentially get ready because I think Makhan Shah is going to come to them. Okay, so that is how chapter 8 ends. So then if we go to chapter 9. So Sagar Prem Namagan Hua Makhan Rida Anand. Now this is the state of Bhai Makhan Shah now, that he's just full of Anand. He's full of complete bliss, and he's got Prem in him because he's found his Guru. And so Makhan Shah has left from his home, and he reaches Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's home. So he's left all of these 22 divans, and he's moved on, and he's moved to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's home. And in chapter 9, Makhan Shah meets Mata Nanaki Ji for the first time. So he gets to the gate of Guru Sahib's Dharamsala, and the Sevadars are there, and they introduce Makhan Shah to Mata Nanaki Ji. And they say to Mata Nanaki Ji, this is Makhan Shah. They tell him his whole Sakhi about how he was stuck on a ship and how he promised Guru Sahib 500 coins. And the Sevadars and Mata Nanaki start talking. And one of the Sevadars makes a point. Now Makhan Shah didn't hear this, he wasn't here at this point. But one of the Sevadar, he makes a point and he says, Parso hum baithe Gurpas, that the other day I was with Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, and ek Sikh ki gat kari prakash, another Gur Sikh, Maharaj said to another Gur Sikh, Shri Guru ne tab bak bakhana, Maharaj said, Ham ko jo bidatai mahanna, that person that tries to make me pargat, tehe dragahe main hoye mukh karu. That person who tries to make me pargat, that their face will be blackened. And the Sevadars have gone to tell Mata Nanaki Ji this because they know what Makhan Shah's intentions are. They can see all of Maharaj's Bastar, they can see 500 gold coins, they can see crates and crates of Kara Prashad, and they basically have a conversation saying, shall we tell Makhan Shah that this is what Maharaj said, that your face will be blackened in Dargah? Or shall we not tell him, and then at least he can make Maharaj Pargat, but then he will be punished. He will have to have a blackened face. And Mata Nanaki Ji, they had a lot of daya, and they said actually no, because Makhan Shah's got a lot of Sharda, and he's worked really, really hard to try and find Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. Let's tell him, because at the end of the day it's not fair, and I'm sure Makhan Shah, he just wants his own pala anyway. So they agree, and then they go and tell Makhan Shah, look, this is what Maharaj's button is. And the power of this Sakhi is that you get to see the qualities of a Gursikh, and you get to see especially the qualities and the characteristics of Bhai Makhan Shah. So Bhai Makhan Shah is told all about Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's bachan, and they ask, where's the rasoi, where the langar is getting made, where's the kitchen? They go to the kitchen, and where the law is, so where there's the ash of where the wood burns, they go and get the ash and put it all over their face, so that their face is blackened. The face is blackened, and they walk into the darbar of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. So although Makhan Shah had already had his, he'd had darshan of Maharaj, he had the knowledge of knowing who Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was, still he wanted to do it for the Paropakar, because Gursikhs are Paropakari, and you can see patterns throughout history very close. So Bhai Makhan Shah's face was blackened, but there was another Gursikh in Guru Arjan Dev Ji's time whose face was blackened as well, and their name was Bhai Ladda Ji. So when we have Santhiya of Bhai Vara, one of the Vara we read is a Var from Ramkali ki Var, which is written by Rai Satya and Balwand. And they were two Gursikhs during Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj's time, and they were Kirtaniya, and they were the direct ancestors of Bhai Mardana Ji as well. And essentially the Sakhi is that they wanted some money for their sister's wedding, and they kind of Janke chose to collect all of the money from the Sangat on Vaisakhi, because that's where they thought that the most beta would come from, on Vaisakhi. And because they were greedy, it just so happened that they only got about 100 rupees that day of beta, and that wasn't going to pay for their sister's wedding. And they were really kind of angry at Maharaj. And they did some Nindya of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, but Maharaj kind of took it. But then they started doing Nindya of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and that's when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj didn't take it anymore. And they were punished. And so Maharaj gave a bachan and said that you'll become a Kodi now, that you'll become a Rogi, and your faces will be blackened, and no one will talk to you, or no one will mix with you anymore. And they said that anyone that tries to get me to forgive you, that their faces will be blackened, and they will get made to ride on a donkey in every single gully of the pind or the town. And so these Gursikhs are basically shunned from the society or the community, and they end up going to a Gursikh called Bhai Ladda Ji, who lived in Lahore. And Bhai Ladda Ji, he was again a great Paropakari Gursikh, great follower of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. And they said that we've heard from the likes of Bhai Gurdas Ji that you're a really great Gursikh, we need help, that we've been completely banished and we want to ask for maafi, we don't know how. And because of the Paropakar of Bhai Ladda Ji, he blackens his face and he gets on a donkey and he rides all throughout town. And then he reaches Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and Maharaj sees their Gursikh with a blackened face, and Maharaj almost has a tear in their eye, saying, why has my Gursikh got a blackened face? And they say, because Maharaj, this was your bachan, that whoever is going to ask for forgiveness on behalf of Bhai Satta and Bhai Balwand, they're going to have a blackened face and they're going to get made to ride on a donkey. So Maharaj, this is my binti. And only then were Bhai Satta and Bhai Balwand, they were forgiven for doing the Nindya of Guru Kar. And then they also have their own Bani as well. So that's where that's the Uthanaka of the Var. So then they did Ustat of, sang praises of Guru Sahibs, right from Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. So just like Bhai Ladda Ji, Bhai Makhan Shah is a Paropakari Gursikh, and they want the Sangat to know who is going to be the Guru. And they walk into Maharaj's Pora Sahib, where Maharaj is alone, and Maharaj says to Bhai Makhan Shah, is this how desperate you are to make me Pargat then? Is this what the lengths that you had to go to? And Maharaj said that the weight of the Gurgaddi is very heavy, because Maharaj had no itcha to become Pargat. They said the weight of the Gurgaddi is very heavy. And the role of Satguru is to do pala of the whole world, and to do pala of their Sikhs, not in lok, so not just in this life, but also in parlok, so in the next life as well. So it's a very heavy job. And also this is not just any old Gaddi, this is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's Gaddi. So there's a lot of responsibility with this. and the whole world rests on the asra of this Gaddi. So by Makhan Shah, he had to come in with his face blackened because he also had to make sure that Guru Sahib's bachan was not nisfal as well. So they had to make sure that Guru Sahib's bachan came true, but they also wanted to make Guru Sahib Pargat. And again, Maharaj had no icha whatsoever to become Pargat, unlike the 22 other fake Gurus. They wanted to be Pargat. They had their own divans. They had Sikhs that used to hold their divans for them. They used to be obsessed with how much money they could make. Yet Maharaj had no icha whatsoever. And that's the quality of a true saint. That only Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was the true saint. And that's a kind of a nishani as well of a true saint, is that they never want to have their own vidiyai, or they never want to become Pargat. And Panditanath Das Ji as well in Vichar Mala, they talk about many qualities of a saint. And one of the things that they say is Manad Aap Aman. They say that Manad, so they do respect of others and they make sure that others are respected, but at the same time Aap Aman, that they don't want any kind of vadiyai, they don't have any icha for being known, being famous, anything like that. And that is exactly the quality of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. And they say that Makhan Shah says that I've come here for the sake of the Sangat. Sagri Sangat Puli Phira Nahi Kisu Kar Par Nischa Kara. That they don't know who to bow down to. They're confused. They're lost. Puli Phira. They're just wandering around aimlessly. They don't know who to do matha tek to. And at this point, Maharaj can see the efforts of Bhai Makhan Shah Ji. And they don't want to ruin the Sharda of their own Gursikh either. And they want to make their own Gursikh's icha come true as well. So finally, after a lot of work, a lot of effort, Guru Sahib wears the bastar that Makhan Shah has especially made. And Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj finally sits on the throne. And once this has happened, Makhan Shah is in a great state of Anand. And they go onto the roof now. This is the famous Sakhi where they say, Gur Ladore, Gur Ladore. They say, Puliye Sangat Sunho Khan, Sat Gur Ladda Mehd Mahan. That, oh, you lost Sangat, oh, you wandering Sangat, that have been wandering around for a long time now doing matha tek to all these 22 fake gurus. I've found the true Guru. Satguru Ladda Mehd Mahan. I've finally found the true Guru. And he shouts it from the rooftop so that all the Sangat then they come. And finally, the Sangat know who the true Guru is. And they have darshan of Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj. And they say, Baba ahab bakale mae, payo saach so hai Guru yahe. That actually it was true what Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji Maharaj said then. The true Guru really was in Bakala Sahib. So that is how chapter 9 ends. That finally, it's not only Pargat to Makhan Shah now, it's also Pargat to the rest of the Sangat. So then we start chapter 10 with all the Sangat basically celebrating that Maharaj has become Prakash finally. So Sangat sab ek baar hi daur nar aaye, dirag darshan satguru, deh dars dikhaye. That the Sangat are running towards Guru Sahib and they're just really wanting to have Maharaj's darshan. Panchamrit ko lyaye karai. Some Gursikhs come with Kara Prashad ko arpat hai bastar suhai. Some come with very expensive, beautiful clothes for Maharaj. Kitik rajatpan aaye chadave. Some Gursikhs come with lots and lots of money. Pashmambar ko le arpave. Some Gursikhs come with like really expensive Pashmino cloth. Is like very expensive kapra. And the Sangat are saying, wow, we finally found the 9th form of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And for a long time they were gupt because Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj, they did bhakti for 26 years at Baba Bakala Sahib. So for a long time Maharaj was gupt, but now they've risen like the moon. So it's like Pai Gurdas Ji, they say, Chadiya Chandana Luke, Tak Jot Konali. So they've risen in the moon, in pitch darkness. Because it was darkness because first of all, the Sangat were confused. It was pitch darkness because it was full of doubt. And second of all, it was darkness because of all the falsehood that the Sodis had as well. That they were saying, no, I'm the Guru, come and bow to me, come and give me money, I'll make all your desires come true. So it was darkness until Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj rose like the moon. And then they're talking about how Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj is great, and they were a great warrior, and now their grandson has come onto the Guru Gaddi, and it's just a very, very happy time for the Sangat. Next, you've also got the other side. So the Sodis are realizing, hang on a second, no one's come to our divan today. Our divan's really empty. We haven't made any money today. Go and find out. Go and send some men. Go and find out what's happened. Go and find out why no one's come to our divan today. Has something happened? And the spies or the jasus, they go out and they realize that actually it's a Sangat. They're all surrounding around Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's house. And they say, well, that doesn't make any sense because Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, they don't know anything. And this is repeatedly what they say about Guru Sahib, because Maharaj was Tyag Barag di Murat. So they had no kind of intention in getting involved in any kind of worldly affairs, things like money or anything like that. They had no intention in getting involved in it. So they used to just say like that Guru Sahib, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, they don't know anything. They've got no kind of soji of the world around them. They don't know how to speak to the Sangat. What are they going to do? And so they were confused. And they say that it doesn't make sense. Dhir Mal, he should be the Guru. Why aren't the Sangat realizing that Dhir Mal is going to be the Guru? He's the one with Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Saroop that was written at Kartarpur Sahib. Why is the Sangat not accepting him to be the Guru? So sab hin chor eh Guru banawa jisko leo na jai subhava eh Makhan ne damb banayo. So they're blaming Makhan Shah in a damb banaya, that he's created the problem just because he's got a lot of money, just because he's got 500 gold coins. It's all Makhan Shah's fault, because Makhan Shah, whatever he does, and the Sangat have followed him, he's caused a problem here. Sab Sikhyan ko lai bulayo. He is the one that's told all the Sikhs to come. So Dhir Mal, he's back in his dera, and then the spies, they come back and they tell him this is what's happened, that actually the Sangat, they're all with Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. And Dhir Mal is almost shocked and he's laughing and he's saying, hang on a second, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji don't even know how to speak. Leen den ki akal na koi, bolab ki samrath na hoi. That Maharaj doesn't even know how to speak. Maharaj doesn't know anything about Lena Dena. How is he going to be looking after the Sangat? He's not going to know what to do. And so Dhir Mal is a little bit shocked. But they say that the money, so those 500 coins, he hasn't forgotten about those 500 coins, that should have been split. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Sodhi as well. My grandfather was a Guru. My younger brother was a Guru as well. And technically, I should be next in line. So that money should have been split. Okay, so chapter 11. Most of this chapter is now a dialogue that happens between Dhir Mal and one of his most famous Masans. So this Masand's name is called Siha Masand. And he's described in Suraj Prakash as Lobi Kotale Kothor Mahana Dushta Mood Shobapantha Ajana. Basically, he's a fool. And he's into like fraud. He's been into fraud his whole life. He doesn't really know right from wrong. And he's very corrupt. He's a very corrupt Masand. And this Masand, you'll see how it plays out, but this Masand was also the one that Dhir Mal listened to the most. So he had the most influence as well over Dhir Mal. And the other thing is he was rich and he had a lot of power and he kind of had a lot of experience in like thuggy and stuff and how to kind of play people and things to do. So this conversation happens now between Dhir Mal and Siha Masand. And the first thing he says, Siha Masand says, is, Suno Guru, tum meri baat, mehma ravar jai bilat. That I'm really worried now because your mehma, so your greatness, is going to get lost soon. All the Sangat are going to just forget about you. that you're in trouble now, you're at risk of losing your mema. And he says that I think we should create a plan now. I think we need to create some sort of strategy, because the problem is if all the Sangat go to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, then what's going to happen to us? We're not going to be able to eat. Who's going to pay us? Who's going to give us peta? That was the only problem, that they just wanted money. So he says, listen, we need to think of some sort of plan. So he goes, the first thing we need to do is we need to scare them. Yeah, if we can scare Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, then maybe they'll just say, oh, don't worry, Dhir Mal, you become the Guru, you have the Guru Gaddi, don't worry, I won't become the Guru. Yeah, so it's a good plan that we should scare them. Even better would be to get rid of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji altogether, and instead we should just get rid of them and we should kill them. Okay, that was the words that they used. So Dhir Mal's thinking about what Siha Masand has said, and he says, I understand he's a big problem at the moment, but also at the same time, I've known my chacha my whole life. So Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was Dhir Mal's chacha, because Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj's youngest son was Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, and Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji's oldest son was Baba Gurditta Ji. So Baba Gurditta Ji and Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, they were brothers. And then obviously Dhir Mal is Baba Gurditta Ji's son. So it's basically his dad's younger brother. So they were nephew and uncle. And they say, I've known my chacha my whole life, and he doesn't care about money. He doesn't really have interest in worldly things. So actually, don't worry about killing him. We don't need to do that yet. But actually, it's better if we take all the money instead. So I agree that we should scare them and we should take the money. So then Siha Masand says, okay, Tikya, we'll prepare to take the money, and we'll prepare to steal, and we'll prepare to create a little bit of a threat to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Then the next thing that Siha Masand says is he comes out with this dialogue, and he basically says that, you know, when you're going out in the jungles and you want to go and hunt a deer, to hunt a deer, you need to prepare or have the same amount of preparation to hunt a lion. It should be the same amount, because you don't know what's going to happen on the way. And the last thing that you want is for your mission to be unsuccessful. So even if you are planning to hunt a deer, it's better to go prepared as you would to hunt a lion. And he said, in the same way, we should be prepared for anything. Yes, we're just going to steal off Maharaj, but actually I think we should be prepared to arrest Maharaj or to kill Maharaj. We should attack. Okay, we need to be prepared for attack. Let's take plenty of shastra with us. Let's take plenty of guns with us so we can be prepared. Okay? So at this point, Dhir Mal is getting a bit worried now, because it's kind of getting out of hand. The conversation's getting out of hand a little bit. And he says, Pita Prata Hamroso Aha. So they're my Pitaji's brother. Tegh Bahadur Akhya Kaha. Desh Nahi, Dosh Nahi, Kuch Tesne Kina. That actually Guru Tegh Bahadur Maharaj, technically they haven't done anything wrong. That actually it's us that came to Bukala Sahib, and Guru Sahib was always here. Actually they haven't done anything wrong to us. Mast Subhav Bihar Bhina. That their kind of personality is that they're is that they're very chilled and they don't get involved in very worldly affairs. And actually it's not right to kill my own chacha. He hasn't done anything wrong. So he says to Siha Masand, scare them, but do not kill them. And this is where Siha Masand, he goes out of control. So it's interesting, because obviously we know that, you know, in history, Dhir Mal is quite a big figure, and he's known to have very bad kind of connotations. But some of his basic principles are okay, that he knows that he shouldn't kill his chacha. He knows his chacha hasn't done anything wrong to him. You'll see in the future as well, he's got a lot of faith in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, but he's influenced very badly, and I think that's, in the end, that's what ultimately leads him to be such a bad character. So Siha Masand, he's got so much control over Dhir Mal, even though Dhir Mal is supposedly his Guru Sahib or his Babaji. Siha Masand says, I don't care what you've got to say. I'm going to kill Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji anyway, because at the end of the day, this is what's best for you, Baba Ji. And I need to be prepared, and I'm getting dressed. So isako maran hi ban ava. That's what Siha Masan says. It's only right now. This is the best opportunity we're going to get. It only makes sense to kill Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. Nahita ehe kantak bad java. If not, it's going to be a big problem for us in the future. So they're trying to basically eradicate problems. So that is how we leave chapter 11. Okay, so chapter 12 starts. So we're moving back now to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's Dharamsala. So we've left what's happening at Dhir Mal's house. So Makhan Shah is with Guru Sahib, and he's bowing and he's doing Matha Tek to Maharaj, and he's just constantly imbued in Guru Sahib's Bhagati. And during the Diwan where the Sangat was, he's just giving he used to give a lot of peta, so he used to bring new things for Maharaj every single time. And they're just sitting in this Diwan, so it would have been a Diwan from Amrit Villa. And essentially about 12:30, the Diwan finishes, and Makhan Shah, he goes back to his house, and he's got 500 men with him at all time, as you would have heard. And he's kind of catching up now with these 500 men, saying that, how we met Guru Sahib, what the story was, because only Makhan Shah was allowed in through the Pora Sahib, because there wasn't enough space for 500 men. So he's kind of filling them in about everything that happened, and he's recalling everything that happened. And he eats and he gets some rest and he sleeps for a couple of hours. And the same time, Maharaj has finished their Diwan, and Maharaj also has a rest. So for a couple of hours, they have a rest in the afternoon, and then they wake up. And when they wake up, they decide that they want to take their horse out for a ride and they want to get some fresh air. So Kahiyo Tarangan ko abas aan sunat das ne ruchina banai sarba angte ki ojalai. The Maharaj decided that they want to take their horse out, and all the sevaks and the sevadars, they got the horse ready so that Maharaj could take it out. And Maharaj, they used to travel along the banks of a river, and they used to go by themselves, but obviously as they've become a Paragat now as the Guru, they've got a few sevadars and a Sikhs with them. And they find a tree to sit under, and they do Bhagati by the river banks, and the Sangat also follow. So there's a lot of prem from the Sangat as well, that they just want to be with Guru Sahib, and they even follow Guru Sahib when they're going on their ride. So Jithe Jai Bhai Mera Satguru So Than Sahaba Ramraj, they really understand that wherever Guru Sahib is, only that place is pure, and they follow Guru Sahib. Now, obviously, Dhir Mal is very concerned about actually how much power has Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji actually got. And what he does is, again, he employs a spy, so a jasoos. And this spy is tracking Maharaj at all times. And he comes back to Dhir Mal, and he says they've gone for an outing, and all the Sangat is with them. And at this point, it hit a trigger for Dhir Mal. There was a trigger there. Because why is the Sangat following Guru Sahib? Why is the Sangat not following me anymore? And I think from that jealousy, that's what really triggered Dhir Mal. And then he agreed. Then he agreed that actually, let's get ready and let's get rid of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. That's going to be the most effective thing to do. So what they do is they go with a lot of preparation. They go with lots and lots of guns, lots and lots of shastar. And they just follow where Maharaj was, so by the banks of the river. But Maharaj was on horseback at this time again, so going back to their Dharamsala. And Siha Masand, so that's the one, shoots Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. And he shot quite a lot of times, but what happened was Maharaj's horse was really, really good. And Maharaj's horse heard the gunshot before the bullet hit Maharaj. So the horse speeds up and gallops faster, and Maharaj gets away. Chuti tapanga shabd uthaye tupka tadak achanak sun ke tej tarangan hot thambhavat. So the tarang, the horse, goes very fast. And here, what does Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj do now? Maharaj has been shot at, and they know it's Dhir Mal because they recognize Siha Masand. What does Maharaj do? They say, Dohara Pale Dhir Mal Pale Ji, Pale Dhir Mal Dhir, Dhir Mal Tera Pala Hove. Well done, Dhir Mal, you would shoot your own chacha. This is how far it's gone now, that Dhir Mal, you're willing to do anything for the Gargadi, that you would shoot your own chacha. Well done, Tera Pala Hove. The other way to interpret it is, Sadhguru Ji only wants Pala, that's the state that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was in. And Sadhguru Sabna da Pala Manaida, Tista Bura Kyo Hoye. That even at that point where you've got bullets coming towards you, Maharaj is saying, Tera Pala Hove, Tera Pala Hove. So that was the state of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. So that's how chapter 12 ends. That Maharaj, someone's tried to shoot Maharaj when they're on horseback, and Maharaj just said, Tera Pala Hove. Okay, so chapter 13. Masands are fuming because they've tried and they've gone with so much preparation. See Masand, you remember what he was saying about, going prepared like you're going to kill a lion, as if you're going to kill a deer. That's how much preparation they went with, yet they failed completely. They missed. So Masands are fuming, full of hatred. And Maharaj is Dayal. And Maharaj feels sorry for them. That's what the bhajan that comes out of Maharaj, that they say, I feel sorry for them. Because they're blind, they're anne, they've got no gyan. And they don't have any santokh, they don't have any shanti. Because think about how much your hirda must be tapping. Think about what a state Dhir Mal would have been in, that he took the decision to shoot Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj under that much threat, under that much jealousy, under that much stress, under that much worry. So Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj is saying, I feel sorry for them, because look how much dukh that they're in, that they have to do these kinds of things. But this wasn't the end for the Masands, because at one point a Masand sees that Guru Sahib Ji, the same day, Guru Sahib Ji is alone in the Pora Sahib now. They're back at their home. And there's only like a couple of sevadars there. There's not much Sangat there. And he runs to Dhir Mal as fast as he can. And he says, look, now might be a really, really good chance or a really good opportunity, because Guruji is by themselves. And actually, if we're going to do this now properly, and if we're going to get rid of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj completely, let's do it properly. Let's go again. Let's try again. And they're very armed, and they're about to leave the door. Now, as they're about to leave the door, Dhir Mal sees something. He sees a couple of things. The first thing is someone sneezed on the right-hand side of him. So basically, these are all like bad omens, like kind of like bad signs or warning signs. So it's like kind of like superstition. So apparently, if someone sneezes on your right side, it's like bad luck. And then he saw his right eye was twitching as well, and the wind was blowing really hard, and some dust flew into their faces. And a woman, she was carrying a clay pot, and it like broke right in front of them. And Dhir Mal, he was very kind of wary of these bad omens. And again, these patterns, you'll see it in Suraj Prakash, they come up again and again. When Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, they were about to fight their third battle, so the battle of Guru Sar Maharaj, Lala Beg and his fauj of 35,000, they were coming from Lahore. And when they're coming from Lahore, again, they also saw loads and loads of bad omens. So like they saw someone's death and like someone walking behind it. They saw vultures. So these things happen in Suraj Prakash where they're kind of given a warning, but then it's up to them. Are they going to take the warning and listen to it or not? So Dhir Mal is very wary of these kinds of things. And he said, look, I don't think it's the right time now, because all these bad things are happening, and he's very kind of superstitious. And he says, let's sit down, let's think about it, and then we'll go. I don't think we should go straight away. Now, what's Siha Masand going to do? He's not going to listen to his guru once again. And he said, I don't care. He said, I'm going to go for it. He said, if something bad happens, it's on me. But if something good happens, it's on you, Guruji. It's on you, Dhir Mal. Don't worry, I'll take the blame if something bad happens. But I'm just really passionate about getting rid of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, because I want you to become the Guru. I want all the Sangat to know that you're the Guru. I want you to be worshipped. So he formulates a plan to shoot Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj in the forehead. So go straight. Because they're thinking, well, we've got to do the most effective thing now. We've got to shoot in the forehead. So they say, don't worry, I will handle the situation. Okay. So then they reach Guru Sahib's house and they start attacking on the doors. Satgur ge ghar pahunche jai, ek hai bar pare ararai, kya hai karhe awas. That all the like few sevadars that were in Guru Sahib's house at that time, they're going, kya hai, what's happening? Because essentially they're banging the doors down and they're smashing the doors down. And the Masans, they catch the sevadars. They attack them, and then Siha Masand goes in with the gun and they shoot at Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's forehead, and the bullet actually does hit Maharaj's forehead, but then it just like drops down completely. So what happens is that Guru Sahib gets like a small cut, very small, a little bit of skin comes off, but that's about it, and the bullet goes down. Because obviously who can kill Maharaj? No one can kill Maharaj. So Guru Sahib, again, they have no reaction. They're just sitting there in their bhagati, completely lean in their bhagati. And Mata Nanaki Ji is home at that time, and she just hears this kind of ruffle that the Masans have come in, they're shouting, and Guru Sahib has been attacked, and the Sevadars have been attacked. And she starts shouting, because what happens is at the same time as attacking Maharaj, they steal everything from Maharaj. But the state of Maharaj is Gyanang Sam Dukha Sukhang Dugat Nirmal Nirvarana. Like in Slok Sanskrit, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj describes the qualities of a saint. That Gyanang Sam Dukha Sukhang, that Dukh and Sukh are the same for Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. That's the avastha, that's the state that they were in of Brahm Gyan. But Mata Nanaki Ji is upset and she's shouting, and she starts shouting at the Masans, and she starts saying, what have you done? That you're attacking the house of Guru. That my husband was Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, and now my grandson is Guru, and my son is Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. What are you doing? We've never come to Kartarpur. So Dhir Mal was from Kartarpur. We've never come to Kartarpur and tried to attack you. We've never said we wanted any money of you. We live a simple life, and now the Maharaj has become Pargat to the Sangat. We can't do anything about that, because Maharaj is the Guru. And she always knew that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji was going to be Guru, because Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji told her. They did a bhajan that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was going to receive the Gurgaddi. So she always knew, and she was just waiting for Guru Sahib to become Pargat. And Mataji is saying that you're all very greedy, and she shouts at them and she scares them off a little bit, but they still took everything. So they come out of Guru Sahib's house and they run back to Dhir Mal. And Maharaj is not phased one bit. Maharaj is still in that state of Gyanang Samaduk Sukhang Dugat Nirmal Nirvaran, that they don't care, that everything is the same to them, and they're still absorbed in their bhagati. So, chapter 14. Okay, so chapter 12 we have the first attempt to shoot Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. Chapter 13 we have a bullet hitting Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's head, but not actually going through or anything. Chapter 14 is kind of the aftermath now that we're going to go through. So Dhir Mal was so happy seeing that everything was stolen. Vasta sakal ko dekh ka, so he sees everything. Dhir Mal anand, he's in great anand. Kanchan ke kankan deo har khataliye masand, that he's giving his masans gold kare. That he's like, wow, you've done a really, really good thing for me here. That actually we've got all the money. Because all of these Bai gurus, the fake gurus, they were only after one thing, that was money, and they were after fame. Only Maharaj was absorbed in bhakti. Only Maharaj was the true saint. So they go back and they tell they tell Dhir Mal that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj is not gone, and he was saved by his own paralabdh, so he was saved by his own fate. And he's basically making excuses, saying that, oh, my hand slipped when I tried to shoot the gun at Maharaj's forehead. And now he's offering more advice. So not like he hasn't given Dhir Mal plenty of advice already. He's saying, now, you know what we should do? We should increase our army. That, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, they had a massive army. They fought 4 battles. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji Maharaj, although they never fought a battle, they always had Baiso, so 2,200 soldiers, Tiyar bar Tiyar. And Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj even said that you'll never have to face a battle, but always have 2,200 Gursikhs, warriors on horseback ready. And he said to Dhir Mal that you're related to Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, they're your younger brother, maybe you should do the same. Maybe you need to start preparing now for this battle. And you need to increase your army. And the other thing is that you need to start telling everyone now that you're the Guru, because you have Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's beer. You have the Kartarburi beer. So Dhir Mal, he thanks Siha Masant for all of his great seva, and he gives him a sropa. And Dhir Mal has a plan now, and he's like, okay, this is the way that we're going to take over. What we're going to do is we're going to employ Masands, and we're going to put a Masand in every part of the country. And those Masands will manage a group of Sikhs in that area, and they will kind of tax the Sikhs, and they will collect money from all the Sikhs, and then they will come back to us. So not only then do we have a power so that every Masand knows which Sikhs to control in which area, but also we have a source of income because they'll all be paying tax. So they create this really, really great plan according to Dhir Mal, and this is how they're going to get lots of money. Now if we go back to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's house, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj was always connected to Akal Purkh. They didn't care about money, they weren't affected by joy or sorrow. But the thing is that Mata Nanaki Ji was a bit worried and she was stressed, and she said, Hey sote kyo tum chetata nahi raho baitha alas ke mahi, that you just sit here quietly in alas, so you just sit here lazily, you keep forgiving all these people, but they're attacking you. When's enough going to be enough? When are you going to do something? Your own nephew has tried to shoot you. What are you going to do about it? And Guru Tegh Bahadur, and the other thing is that Mata Nanaki didn't want Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj to go anywhere, because then she didn't have anyone left, because she didn't have any grandchildren yet. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Kalgitar Pasha, they weren't Prakash yet either. So she's worried that she doesn't have anyone else left. And again, Gyanang Samduk Sukhang Dugata Nirmal Nirvaranahang. Maharaj is like, they don't feel any difference to Duk or Sukh. And Maharaj says, what that person that's got true faith in Akal Purkh Vaheguru, they don't have any fear or worries. They don't chase after money. They don't chase after Padarat in any way whatsoever. And there's both dukh and sukh that come in this world, just like life and death come, but you don't let it affect you. So, jo nar dukh mein dukh nahi manna, sukh saneh har pair nahi jaka kanchan matti manna. That was the state of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj as well. And they said that one day, these people, these Dhir Mal, they will be under your rule. And there's a Sakya as well I heard that's related to this. So, it's to do with the times of the Khalsa. So Baba Vadpag Singh, he was a 5th generation of Dhir Mal, and he was in trouble at one point, and he had to ask the Khalsa for help. So Nasr Ali, the Mughal, he had attacked Gurdwara Thamsab, and he asked for help. So Baba Vadpag Singh asked for help to help him win back Jalandhar. So he needed help from the Khalsa. And in the end, the Khalsa won back Jalandhar and helped Baba Vadpag Singh. And when he wanted to feed them langar, they said, well, we can't eat with you, because when you take Amrit, so when you're blessed with Amrit, the Panj Pyare, they give you Rat, and they give you Hukam to stay away from 5 different types of people. So I think it's Meene Masand, Ram Raye, Dhir Mal, Kudi Mar, and there's one more as well. So Dhir Mal, you're not supposed to mix with Dhir Mal, and especially you're not supposed to eat from their hands. So they said to Vadbag at the time, they said, we can't eat from you. And then eventually he ended up taking Amrit. And of course, when you take Amrit, even if you're from one of those 5, then you're blessed. And then eventually they ended up having langar. And the other thing is that as far as the Khalsa is concerned, Dhir Mal is irrelevant because we don't even associate with Dhir Mal. So Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj is kind of foreshadowing the future that Mataji, you don't need to even worry about these kinds of people, that Dhir Mal are so irrelevant. Okay, so just, how long have I got? Only a couple of minutes. Okay, so the aftermath now of Makhan Shah finding out, okay? So because Makhan Shah has been at his house the whole time, these Gursikhs start talking and they're saying there's been a robbery at the house of Guru Sahib. So basically they decide that it's not fair that justice shouldn't be taken. Actually, justice should be taken and something should happen. And it's not fair that Dhir Mal has attacked Guru Sahib in this way. And the person that they thought to go to would be Makhan Shah because he had 500 Fauj with him at all time anyway. So they go to Bhai Makhan Shah, and as you can only imagine the gussa and krodh that Bhai Makhan Shah has, hearing that his Guru Sahib has been attacked. Because for a Gursikh to hear that their Guru has been harmed in any way is a lot of dukh. And the problem is that Makhan Shah, he starts to blame himself and he says, actually, I feel really guilty because I'm the one that made Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Pargat. So is it my fault? And he's questioning Dhir Mal in all these different ways. He's saying, hang on a second, why has he done this? This is his Chacha Ji. What would he what means would he have to attack his own Chacha Ji? What's his state of mind like? Why is he so desperate? What's going on? And he's really questioning Dhir Mal. And then he gets together and he says, I don't care if I become Shaheed now. I don't care if I die doing this, but I'm going to get my back on Dhir Mal, and I'm going to make sure that revenge is taken. I'm going to make sure that all the things that were stolen from the house of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, that the Sangat's money is returned. Okay, so he then sets off to where Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib, sets off to the Dera of Dhir Mal, and Dhir Mal realized that Makhan Shah and his men are coming. So Makhan Shah plus 500 men, there's a lot of them, they're also very trained. They've got a lot of experience in these kinds of things. They're on horseback. And essentially, Makhan Shah and Siha Masand, they decide to surrender because they just give up straight away because they're like, we're outnumbered and we're not going to be able to fight them. So they all surrendered. And then Makhan Shah takes everything back and takes Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Sarup back as well. And Makhan Shah then makes his way to the house of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj with all of this saman and with Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Sarup. So I think I'm going to leave it there now so you can have a bit of suspense what's going to happen next when Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj realizes what Makhan Shah has done and what Maharaj's reaction is to Makhan Shah kind of stealing everything back. So we are going to leave it there. I must have made many mistakes, so please forgive me. Agge vaste samakt bakshni ji lekha katah na chutiya khin poolanhar baksanhar baksala nanak par utar. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
So next week we got Bhai Deep Singh over there. He's doing the talk next week. So if you wait 5 minutes, there's langar. So stick around for that. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.